Use the spacebar to pause and unpause the game during combat to issue orders to your party members and evaluate your strategy. We're back in Tyranny with my group of 3, consisting of me, Brightblade, the brother of Brightlock, who was immediately killed in my first game. He took over for his brother's duties after he was killed. We have been, we've had Verse with us since the beginning. And we just picked up this guy named Barrick. Why does it seem like the microphone's not working properly? Okay, that seems better. I don't know what happened to the microphone there, but it was not functioning adequately. Now it almost seems like it's too loud. What is going on? Alright, anyway. We have a mission. And our mission is... we have many missions, actually. But I think the first mission is to head to Echo Call Crossing. Well, I don't know what the first mission is. Let's just go to the edge of the map and see what we see. Alright, merchant man. Don't get in trouble while we're gone. Oh, there's Echo Call Crossing. Oh, we're going through Scarlet Chorus Camp anyway, so let's go to Scarlet Chorus Camp first. Uh-oh. Your path is blocked by a small group of Vendrian Guard. You can go no farther until you deal with them. It's an ambush. I didn't know there were ambushes in this game. That's unsettling.
That's far enough, Fatebinder.
A woman's voice booms from atop a nearby outcropping. Flashes of aquamarine body paint peek out from under her loose-fitting traveler's garb, and her outfit is festooned in braids and knots of sailor's line. Flanked on either side by warriors dressed in Vendrian Guard regalia, the woman leans on an elaborate bladed staff pulsing with arcane energy. A swath of blue fabric rests draped over her arm. And of course, we all know the blue flag is a symbol of diplomacy and truce recognized across most of the known world. And it is a custom the Tearsmen hold dear. To harm another person under the auspices of a blue flag is a grave offense. The auspices of a blue flag is a grave offense. In both the Tears and in Cairo's empire, the customary punishment is death. The aquamarine body paint is the traditional trappings of the School of Tides. According to Fatebinder Regulus, the majority of the school fled before the coming of Kairos. The remainder were last seen during the first campaign in Vendrian's Well. Alright, Ebb. Say your piece.
In accordance with ancient customs north and south, I offer and request a delay of blade. There are matters we must discuss without fear of reprisal.
The woman bows deeply, lowering her head in a practiced display of etiquette. The warriors by her remain in a ready stance, their nerves clearly on edge. Well, in accordance with the ancient customs north and south, I abide by this truce.
As is our custom, we are ready to kill to defend our lands, but we kill only in fair battle. We don't slay our prisoners. We know this isn't Kairos's way, but we must have hope. A few of my kin have gone missing, and though they may have perished, I have to inquire on the off chance they still live. If Captain Tarkus Deimos still lives, we would negotiate for his release.
I recall that name as belonging to one of the Vendrian Guard leaders to have assaulted Edgering ruins, but I have no recollection as to his exact fate. Assuming he's our prisoner, what would you offer in exchange?
We would offer you 5 choirmen that got lost on patrol. They're healthy, got all their limbs, too.
Huh.
I would not have us barter with oathbreakers. Certainly not for anything less than disfavored lives.
Oh, nobody cares about disfavored.
You say there's something worth less than a disfavored life. Call me intrigued.
I mean, my choices are very limited here. I mean, I can either lie or say I don't know who he is, but I do know who he is, kind of. I'm just gonna say that name means nothing to me, even though apparently it does, but I'm gonna say it doesn't, even though I'm not lying. But it kind of seems like I am, because it says I knew the guy. I'm confused. I'm picking this one, though.
No, I'm sorry. I'm asking about one man out of thousands that have been slain by Kairos' forces. It's not like I remember the name of all your friends that I've killed. If I may make one more inquiry, what of Palox Tyrell? Did he survive?
Well, let me search my memory. Though I rarely have the luxury of matching names to the countless tearsmen I've encountered, I am reasonably certain that you are asking about the Vendrian Guard warrior that took Drastus hostage at Edgering Ruins. He did not survive the encounter. I am afraid that Palox Tyrell is dead. She nods slowly, saying nothing for a long moment.
My apologies, Fatebinder. I had a terrible feeling this errand was in vain from the start. I had no expectations that our friends could be saved, as I'm sure the time for swapping prisoners is long gone. But at least I know of what became of them. That'll have to be enough.
I have some questions for you.
We shouldn't be socializing with oathbreakers.
Oh, shut up, Barrick.
I will entertain them as best I can. After all, understanding is the only hope we have. What is it you wish to know?
Why do you resist Kairos? What are you trying to save?
I grew up without my knee bent to Kairos, and if I'm going to bow to someone, let it be another Tearsman. We've ruled ourselves just fine for centuries, so we'll give our lives so that our sons and daughters might rule themselves.
The younger realms were beset with constant battle. You'd prefer that to Kairos' order?
You make conflict sound like a bad thing. Yes, the younger realms saw frequent battles, but it was never this wholesale slaughter like we've seen of late. No Tearsman ever cast an edict on the soil, or forced prisoners to kill each other, or butchered beastmen tribes.
Only your daughters are really free in the Tears. Why fight against Kairos' equality?
There's freedom, then there's trusting idiots with power. Give a man 1,000,000 marauders, he'll lose sleep worrying over his neighbor's 1,000. I prefer my realms ruled by the braver sex. For centuries we've let the lands to the women and the seas to the men, and we did plenty fine until Kairos came around.
What makes you think you have a chance?
Oh, we don't. Those who believed Kairos could be stopped all died years ago, in the first wave of fighting. It's not about the hope of victory. It's about the hope of inspiring others. It is very likely we will fall here in Vendrian's Well, but perhaps others will arise elsewhere.
But a mage like you would not be the subject of such superstition and fear under Kairos' reign.
I doubt life is any better sworn to some mad archon. I'd rather stand with my fellow Tearsmen. Or, I suppose, stand immediately behind them in the event of an attack.
At that remark, the soldiers flanking her exchange shocked looks. Ebb turns her focus to her compatriots.
Yeah, you heard me. Way things were years back, you'd all be calling me a water witch and conspiring to sell me out to the nearest sage. Just because I'm helping you stop Kairos doesn't mean I've forgotten the hospitality of ages past.
And people wonder why the Tearsmen could never unite in time to fight back. It's refreshing to see that some things never change.
All right, Verse, calm down. Let me ask of something else. She nods, silently awaiting your follow-up. How did you and your friends overthrow the garrison?
I would joke that the voices of Nerat left the gate unlatched, but dozens of warriors lost their lives taking the citadel. There was no secret to it. We simply attacked with speed and certainty at a time when the Archons were elsewhere in the tiers. The Scarlet Chorus had a rout, and what few disfavored soldiers were present made an impressive showing. But they were surrounded and overwhelmed once the chorus fled.
Who's in charge of this insurrection?
Listen to you. Thinking just like the Overlord wants you to think. There always has to be a person in charge, or things don't make sense. Well, we don't answer to anyone. We are each of us sons and daughters of the Tiers, and take this task upon ourselves freely. But Captain Tarkus Ari, former Falksman of Queen Bendry and Alanta, is the voice we trust when we seek unanimity.
I assume Tarkus Ari and Tarkus Demos are relations?
Yes. Deimos was Ari's brother. We were certain he was dead, but the captain takes family seriously, so I volunteered to find some answers. And now here we are.
Were there prisoners swaps in the past?
That is our way, Binder. Here in the south, only thugs and bandits kill prisoners. The younger realms may be guilty of constant fighting, but we never slay each other when the battle's long over. We're not about to change that now. As a rule, Kairos' forces haven't been keen on swapping prisoners. But I know our disfavored prisoners aren't prisoners anymore. I just assumed they were swapped for some of our own.
Well, that's all I have to say.
Fair enough. But now a question for you. The Edict. I can feel its magic coursing through the air. Everyone can. But those of us enlightened to the currents of magic feel it most. The wording of the Edict. What was it?
Such details are for Kairos' warriors only.
So you will not say. I expected as much. Can it be worse than endless storms or fire pouring from the earth? Not that you'd answer that either. I've another question for you, if you will entertain it.
Are we really standing here and chatting with Oathbreakers? It's hard to watch, like cuddling a goat you're going to kill for dinner.
Ask your question, Ebb.
When I was young, my parents told me the Tiers were special, and the Overlord's edicts and armies could never touch us. Seems I've been told a hefty sum of lies. So answer this honestly for me, please. Is it true that Tunon's Fatebinders can smell truth from falsehood?
Yes, it's absolutely true.
And Kairos' edicts? I have heard the sages speak at length that some of the edicts elsewhere in the world have been broken. How is this?
You are mistaken. An edict is forever. It will end if the Overlord wills it, however.
That's what I feared. We have not had cause or access to study an edict until it's been a bit too late. Kairos' magic is, well, it seems an order of magnitude beyond what the rest of us think we understand. You'll forgive, I hope, the questions. The Overlord and his Archons used to be things of legend. Now they're everyday maladies, and I'm eager to separate the truth from the lies I've been told by house and guild. In accordance to our most ancient customs, let us depart in honorable accord. May peace find you, Fatebinder.
She bows deeply, pounding her staff on the ground twice before turning to leave. Goodbye. I have received a new missive from Tunon. What is that? Select a missive. Brightblade, word has reached this court that you have issued the Overlord's edict to the Archons of war and secrets. Know that we understand fully the weight of this burden and appreciate the loyalty you show in its declaration. Provided you survive this span, your service will be duly recognized. As you navigate the idiosyncrasies and mutual antipathy of our Overlord's War Masters, remember that Kairos watches all with interest. Those who distinguish themselves, whether Fatebinder or Archon, have the opportunity to rise in the Overlord's esteem. Even now the northern courts whisper that the more successful of the two Archons will be granted rule over the whole of the peninsula. Similarly, your fortunes rest upon the decisions you make. Choose wisely. I will thank him for the advice. And, Archon Tunin, allow me to express my deep appreciation for this opportunity. Few in the Empire have the honor of treating with Archons, and fewer still of reading the empowered words of the Overlord. I endeavor always to emulate your exemplary foresight and judgment. I remain in all things your faithful servant, Fatebinder Brightblade. This missive is in transit. 1 day remaining. Oh, wow, okay. Interesting. I don't understand. I don't understand what this spell creation thing is. Touch of Atrophy. I don't know what I'm doing. What? Cores, Sigil of Atrophy. Expression, Sigil of Focused Intent. Accents. What is this? Am I creating a new spell? Attack skill, Control Atrophy and Lore. Press any key to exit assign mode. I think I just assigned a spell. What? How? What? How did you get Touch of Atrophy? I gave Verse Touch of Atrophy somehow. I'm not sure how I did that. But there we go. Well, that was fun. We had a fun encounter there. Is there anything up here to look at? To see? It seems like there's some sort of... There's something on the mini-map there. What does that mean? I guess it means nothing. Well, I guess the parlay is over. I guess we are leaving then. Continuing on the road. Whoa, wait. There's something under the rocks. It's a bunch of stuff. Let's loot it all before we leave. Okay, moving on to the Scarlet Chorus camp. That was an interesting encounter. I'm not precisely sure what the intent of this game is. Am I supposed to be as evil overlordy as possible, or am I supposed to be redeeming myself and becoming a good person? Am I supposed to be overthrowing the Overlord from the inside? A rotting body bearing Scarlet Chorus war paint is skewered upon a wooden pike. What? What's up with that? These are Chorus grounds. State your business or get lost. The soldier nods in agreement. The guard places her hands by her belt as you approach, gripping the hilt of a blade. Past this point is Chorus territory, and you don't look like someone's conscript. You sure you're in the right place? I am Brightblade, Fatebinder of Tunon. I am here to help vanquish the Oathbreakers. You know, I think I was told to expect somebody, but you seem too ugly to be him. Her lips crumple into a smirk. Why exactly should I let you in? You dolt! This is the Fatebinder. He's been with us since the damn start, even shed blood at the gates of judgment. Fucking new fish. Start learning the names and faces or find work as someone's moving target. The guard shakes her head, blushing with embarrassment. I'm terribly sorry. Now, please, come right in. Yeah, it's me. I'm here to talk to more people. Anything but combat. A scroll sits here glowing with mystical energy. I will read it. I've learned a new spell core, the Sigil of Illusion. What does that mean? Those who master the Sigil of Illusion are skilled in the arts of deceit and trickery, using its powers to misdirect and confuse their targets at critical moments. Often derided by combat mages for its inability to kill outright, those who specialize in illusion know its powers can turn the tide of any battle. It merely requires someone smart enough to know how to use it. So... Spectral Blur. What? I don't understand this. Mask the target in a blurred illusion, making them harder to hit. Oh, that sounds cool. That sounds like something I would like. You know, actually, that would be a good thing for this guy, actually. Can I just use it?
I will aid you.
Oh, cool. Cool beans. Okay. So that gives him extra, you know, defense capabilities, I guess? Plus 30% graze deflection, plus 30% hit deflection. That seems pretty useful for a tank. My dog is snoring very loudly behind me. Okay, let's talk to this Fifth Eye. The Binder of Tunon arrives. Squealing with teenagers' timber, the Fifth Eye's voice makes your gums itch and your fingernails feel in need of a trim. And we just finished having a bit of sport with some captives. But worry not, we'll have more fun with another batch momentarily. Dressed in the bronze-red regalia of the Crimson Spears, the Fifth Eye beckons you to stand close, wagging a blood-spattered glove. Now that you have issued this edict and doomed us all to die, have you come to help us climb out of this hole? Chirps of laughter emanate from under his mask. I trust you are getting your warriors ready for battle. We know the Oathbreakers are focused in the citadel beneath the mountain spire, but we have learned this is not their only nest. The Fifth Eye wags a hand in the air with a high-pitched squeal of displeasure. Given their pattern of attacks, they must have a second group maintaining camp here in the Outer Valley. And unless we deal with this second group, they'll attack from behind the moment we cross... They'll attack from behind the moment we cross the river. You have how large a force? And for all these weeks, you've let the enemy move freely through the valley? I'm hurt. Insult my manners or maturity, but do not insinuate that I sit idle when there's blood to be shed. The Crimson Spear claps his fists together. We have dealt with countless Oathbreakers, but one group remains at large despite our best efforts. Captain Pellux's crew consistently evades our kills. Captain Pellux's crew consistently evades or kills our own gangs. So you need help taking out these Oathbreakers? And while a good old-fashioned slaughter would be an efficient solution, the smarter answer is not to kill them, but to add their strength to ours. My last group of scouts returned with a new batch of prisoners, and one of these prisoners claims she can lead us to the Vendrian god's secondary camp, though there are shreds of deception in her voice. I could use your help questioning this Variah Kell. Perhaps you will get less screams and tears, and more useful information out of her. If we knew where to ambush the Oathbreakers, we could try and take their captain and show him the wisdom of joining the chorus. Why not just ask the Archon of Secrets? I thought he could interrogate anything. An unintelligible mutter escapes from under the fifth eye's mask as his posture stiffens. And I'm sure you can drink all manner of cider, but that doesn't mean you'll drink every barrel of cider in sight. A boring, insignificant mind is a waste of the Archon's efforts. I've known the Archon to demand personal interrogations, but it's only ever been with leaders, mages, or others of great merit. I've often imagined the interrogation process is not to be taken lightly. Perhaps it's downright exhausting for Nerat. Are a few more conscripts going to change anything at this point? Seems wiser to just kill them. But... The Crimson Spear pauses, his body frozen in a shrug. But that is our way. We offer redemption even to those who have harmed us. Besides, I'm not truly interested in any old conscripts, but rather one specific one, their leader. Captain Pellix Florian is one of the finest warriors the Vendrian God have left. It is double the injury to take from your foe while adding to your own clan. All right, I will speak to the prisoner then. I will meet you there. She is waiting by the other prisoners. Speak with the fifth eye at the Scarlet. Okay, we did speak with them already. Okay, let's look around the camp. There's a lot of talking in this game. Snigler Dagos? Upon noticing your approach, the merchant straightens his posture and smiles. What an honor! What an honor! The name Snigler Dagos, originally from the relative tranquility of the Northern Empire, I've since managed... I cannot read. Jesus. I wish I could make this font just a little bit bigger. I've since accepted a nomadic life for the sake of keeping Kairos' forces supplied with only the finest goods, local and imported. All right, fine. Let me see your wares. He winces a little. It's not much, but let me know if you see anything that piques your interest. Well, it's not like I have any money, so... Maybe I can sell something to you. So it's 50 copper for 4 lesser healing potions, if I'm reading this right, and I only have 65 copper. Yikes. Okay, well, I guess that's that then. Hey, there's somebody here named Reg. Well, look who we have here. Wait, what? That's not Reg, that's Baz. Well, look who we have here. Chewing on some manner of cud, a heavy-set soldier flings spittle and crumbs as she talks. The Fatebinder finally shows himself. I'm Reg, the second soldier chimes in, and this is Baz. We were wondering when you might pay the camp a visit. The fifth eye has been a little, starved for attention. He ordered us to watch you like a troublesome babe. Make sure you don't get out of line. Baz knits her fingers together, joints crackling as she smiles. Reg clears his throat loudly, scowling at Baz. Yeah, something like that. If you have questions, ask us. Good luck finding anyone else in camp who'll give you answers, or even a smile. So, anything we can do for you? Well, tell me about yourself, Baz. I was a sellsword at the beck and call of fat merchants, just another dented face in the crowd. After too many years of spilling blood in local skirmishes, I realized that I was only killing time. Then Kairos showed me a better way. Unity, purpose. Now I fight for something, not just someone. Been watching the Scarlet Furies, practicing my blade work. Not good enough to join them yet, but I bet I could show you a thing or two. Tell me about your time... Well, tell me about you. Reg, tell me about yourself. Reg scratches the back of his head, at a loss for words. I had a family, a farm. Then the chorus came, and, well, now I have the chorus. Priorities change when you hear screams in the night and feel a blade pressed to your neck. Things like farms or families don't seem as important. I used to have nightmares thinking about the culling. Felt awful remembering how I hacked my ma and dad to bits just so I could survive. Yikes. I remember the culling too, Reg. That was when the Scarlet Chorus conscripts of... That's when the Scarlet Chorus conscripts a village. They hold a ceremony known as the culling. Every able-bodied man, woman, and child is given a weapon and forced to fight their family and friends to the death. Those who survive are deemed strong enough and free from old ties to join the army. It's a harsh system we have. Yeah, it's rather harsh, I would say. Ridge's eyes, shadowed for a moment with sorrow, take on a feverish gleam. The Fifth Eye heard me howling one night, pulled me out of the Horde, and took an interest in me. Now I'm studying magic, calling fire from nothing. If my ma and dad could see me now, they'd be so proud. Okay. Tell me about your time in the Scarlet Chorus. Reg and I were conscripted at the Gates of Judgment. He used to fight for Akon, me for Azure. Baz chuckles, sketching her chin in thought. Baz chuckles, sketching her thin... What? Jesus, why am I having so much trouble with this? Baz chuckles, sketching her chin in thought. What does that even mean? Sketching her chin? I don't know what that means. Is that like rubbing her chin in thought? That's how I translate that sentence. I've never heard sketching her chin before in my entire life. Never heard that phrase that way. Anyway, how many fights we survived so far? 11? Reg begins to count in series across his fingers. No, 14. I count each day in sunder separately. The chorus is... Baz looks about the camp and shrugs. Not as bad as it smells. The strong, like me and Reg, we're allowed to take what we want, what we deserve. We live only as well as our strength affords us, as it should be. Well, what can you guys tell me about the Fifth Eye? Reg trades an uncomfortable glance with Baz and lowers his voice to a whisper. They say he shares a direct link with the voices of Nerat. Guard your tongue around him. He's a little... wild, bloodthirsty, mad. Baz thinks for a moment. Brilliant. Reg flinches and glances over his shoulder. I was going to say eccentric. The chorus isn't picky about who joins the ranks, so you can expect to find some unusual types. Most are as likely to kill you as promote you. Well, what do you guys know about Vendrian's Well? The walls might seem imposing, but the Vendrian Guard do a better job of hiding its weaknesses than fixing them. She shrugs. We took the Citadel once before. We can take it again. We have to, don't we? Reg looks up at the imposing tower of the spire. Though Kairos knows, I don't want to stay any longer than necessary. She follows his gaze and shakes her head. You should know better than to parade your cowardice before the Fatebinder. It's not cowardice, it's just, superstition. Are you afraid of the spire, Reg? Sorry, Fatebinder, I shouldn't have mentioned anything. He sighs. The fact of the matter is, we were told to stay away from spires and old walls ever since we were babes. Of all the dumb childhood lessons that fell by the wayside, that one stayed the same. Imagine a soldier of the chorus pissing himself over architecture. More like what's underneath it. Reg frowns. The bane. lurk around those old sites and kill anything they can catch unawares. The Bane, that is. I've no wish to meet the Bane in combat, unless there are 100 blood chanters at my back. Baz twists her lips into a frown as she considers this. Well, me neither, I suppose. Well, Baz, let's see what you can teach me. Let's dance, Binder! Skill training. Ooh. Neat. What? Bows, dual wielding, and unarmed combat. Ranks trainable this level, 10. Oh. So we can teach Verse a few things. I don't really understand this bar. 5 of 45. The blue bar is almost filled up, but 13 of 45, the blue bar is like a third filled up. That's weird. Let's train a level of dual wield for Verse. Oh, I see. That bar is how far they need to go to the next level. That's in experience. I see now. Alright, so let's train another level of bows for Verse. There we go. We'll train Verse with bows and dual wield, because she already has those. I have a little bit of dual wield skill, for some reason. I don't know why. I don't need that. Why do I need that? I don't need that. Let's do another level of dual wield for Verse. Because we want to survive. Thanks, Baz. Okay, well, I guess that was it. Anything else to talk about? Baz spits a wad of chewed bread into her open palm. These rations are foul. Taste it. Can't tell if it's poison or mold. I heard that our watches spotted a disfavored scout by the grain stores. You don't think... I feel fine. Maybe it's an herb to slow my hand in battle. Sabotage is a coward's weapon. Maybe it's just gone bad. Seeing you, Reg pockets his ration without taking a bite. Oh, hi, Fatebinder. So, anything we can do for you? Say, Reg, show me what the fifth eye has been teaching you. We'll make this valley burn. Haha. Hey, he can train me in some lore. He can train me in magic, staff, subterfuge, and lore. I will take a point of lore. Oh, he can also train Verse in subterfuge. I'm running out of money, though. Give me a point. Give me another point of magic staff and another point of lore. And we'll give Verse another point of subterfuge, and that's all my money. I spent all of my money on training. We're not training this guy any. He doesn't need any training. Barrack, he doesn't need any training. He's a disavowed, so screw him. Or what are they called again? I forgot what they're called. Disavowed, unsullied, disloyal. I don't remember what they're called. Something. Dishonorable. Alright, what are we doing now? We are going to interrogate Variah. The Fifth Eye believes that the rebel captive Variah in the Scarlet Corps camp might have crucial information about rebel movements in Tripnettle. He would like you to interrogate her while he observes. Alright. Filthy mongrels. Let the interrogation begin. The Fifth Eye, commander of the local Scarlet Chorus, surveys his camp. Watching in stillness as all manner of violence and revelry occur around him, he offers a slight nod at your approach. Was there anything else? I thought I was here to interrogate someone. Never mind, I thought I was supposed to talk to you, but apparently not. I guess we talk to the Vendrian Guard prisoner? You're not the right prisoner, are you? Variah Kell, there she is. She's right there. Please, someone. I wish to bow before the voices of Nerat. I thought all could find redemption in the chorus. A woman in the makeshift armor of the Vendrian Guard lurches forward in agony. Her soiled, trembling legs suggest she has been forced to stand for days. This one, he flippantly waves at the prisoner, was hollering earlier that she knows the location of the Vendrian Guard encampment, but she isn't being entirely honest. I told this thing. The prisoner turns pale a moment before a look of determination comes over her face. That I wanted to guarantee I'd live and be welcomed into the chorus as a captain. Then I'd talk. Otherwise, they'll just kill me once I've opened up. I was dumb enough to join with the Vendrian Guard, but I'm not dumb enough to give away my bargaining bronze. You claim you would disavow your people for the Scarlet Chorus? Why the change of heart? Because I want to live, and you don't need to be the Archon of Premonitions to know that the younger realms are gone for good. She blinks several times, catching her breath. Kairos is the new strength of the Tears, and I would rather stand with his Archons than be crushed by them. Why should I trust the words of an Oathbreaker? I suppose I have no answer for that. Variah's eyes fall to the ground, and she swallows nervously. When I joined with the Vendrian Guard, I accepted their broken vow unto myself. Have you not felt passion for a foolish cause, one you later came to regret? Well, my surrender is sincere, and I'm willing to bow before the voices of Nerat to prove it. Tell me what you know, and I can see to your release. I heard the chorus is looking for Captain Pelix Florian and his crew. I can lead you to them, but only if you release me. She turns her head, taking a long look at skewered and smoldering corpses around her. She tugs at her restraints, but to no avail. Microphone's doing weird stuff again. All right, start talking now. Well, you see... Shaken by your demand, her lips move wordlessly for several seconds. So I don't know exactly where the rest of my crew is, but I saw... I can tell you... She shakes her head, catching her breath. Search that one. She reaches up with her right leg and points with her foot, calling attention to a nearby pile of corpses. The tall, dark one missing most of his face. Check his left boot. He was the literate one in our crew. He had the orders. With a snap of his fingers, a pair of choirmen yank the boot off the fallen guardsman. A rolled parchment slides out of the boot and is thrust into the Fifth Eye's hands. He unfurls the scroll to give it a read. It's nonsense. Just mash of words. Laughter erupts from under the mask. She said she had information. She gives us garbage. Slay this wretch for wasting our time. He snaps his fingers at a nearby Scarlet Fury, who promptly snatches a long knife from her belt. Wait. I heard her say she'd swear fealty to the voices of Nerat. An initiation rite would be in order. Seeing as you are an expert on the subject of fate, I will entertain your wisdom on the matter. What then would you propose we do with her? I'll point to the two other prisoners. Let's test her loyalty. Variah, kill these guardsmen with something blunt. Variah looks at the prisoners, once her allies, and closes her eyes as her bonds are untied. The onlookers snicker and cheer when a heavy rock is placed in her hands. Mouthing something inaudible, she lifts the rock high above her head and smashes it down on the prisoner's skull, wincing back a scream as she hoists the stone over her head a second time to finish the job on the other prisoner. The bloody rock hits the ground, and Variah slumps to her knees in defeat a moment later. Oh man. Brutal. Good, good. Fifth Eye places his bloodied hand on the trembling woman's shoulder and nods to her. Welcome to the Scarlet Chorus. Do not fail us. As a pair of soldiers come to lift Variah, the Fifth Eye turns to you, his voice filled with glee. Where's a slave to clean up the offal when you need it? Oh, man. We're no closer to finding the Oathbreaker's position. Not with this cryptic mess. She promised us answers, and all she gave us was gibberish.
Sorry to interrupt, but I highly doubt it's gibberish. More likely, it's one of the local scripts.
The voice comes from another prisoner tied up next to Variah, an older gentleman with the quills, ink vials, and parchment scrolls one finds on the sages of the School of Ink and Quill. Ink smudges cover his cheeks, temples, and ears. His clothes appear charred, and between the rips of the fabric you spot burn scars along his arms. Despite being emaciated and tied to a post, he offers a beaming smile. Well, who are you?
I'm Sage Lantry, one of the hired quills that was coordinating missives between the Vendrian guard captains. They aren't paying me anymore and aren't coming to my rescue. So I'll decipher that parchment for you. That's what smart prisoners do, right? Make themselves useful?
All right. Can you read this? I'll show him the parchment.
Well, let me see. I can't...
You hold the parchment in front of the bound sage, and his eyes dart down the length of the missive. He reads the words a second time, nodding in silence.
I don't know exactly what it says, but I'm half certain that's Sage Selwyn's handwriting. I'm sure I could decipher that in a few hours' time. Don't need my hands free, but I think better when not tied to a post. I know, I'm weird that way.
A few hours? Either you can read it or you cannot. What use is a sage that doesn't know his letters? I've heard all I need to hear. I say we have some fun with this one. It can't hurt to give him a few hours, Fifth Eye. You read the edict. I don't need to tell you the sundial is working against us. This addled old bag is just trying to stall us. The voices of Nerat will be upset to know you squandered a source of enemy intelligence. How true. Then we shan't put him to waste. He will serve as a most riveting source of amusement as we put him on trial.
Fatebinder, I beseech you, be my advocate for this trial. I'm no fool. I know the chorus uses blood, not words, to settle these matters. But you are a servant of the Archon of Justice, are you not?
What does that mean? Why don't I have a hyperlink here to tell me what that means? If I become his champion, does that mean do I have to fight for him? What? Release this prisoner at once. I'm taking him into my custody. Not a chance. He's our prisoner. If you think you can crack the information we need out of his skull without troubling the Archon, that's one thing, but you're not walking out of here with our property. Oh, there's my cat jumping right up on my keyboard. One of these days, she's gonna hit a number key and make a conversation selection. Well, what was I saying? I'm gonna grab him by the mask. Did you just tell me no? Yeah. The chorus warrior emits a whimpering squeal as you grab him by the chin of his mask and pull him close. Gloved hands press against you, but try as he might, his push cannot exceed your pull. Release the prisoner to me, and I won't shame and degrade you in full view of your followers. Yes, he grunts and stammers as he struggles to wrest free from your grip. Once you release him, he shuffles to regain his composure. You two. Dusting himself off with one hand, he waves to two nearby conscripts with the other. Release the sage. He's the Fatebinder's problem now. The sage is unbound from the post. Stiff legs nearly buckle as he attempts to walk, and his arms flex and flail in their new freedom. Wiping sweat and grime from his brow, the sage steps closer to you with a nervous smile. What is a sage? Some sort of magician.
Thank you. Oh, I thought I was going to wind up as another corpse in that pile. Now, hand me that parchment. The sooner I can find out what it says, the sooner I can get out of this place.
Wait, I thought you were joining my crew. And? Well, much of the parchment was weathered, but I could make out the important parts of the text. The note makes mention of a meeting spot west of Tripnettle. So, the old sage knows his words after all? I'd ask that you travel ahead and see if you can't get this Captain Florian to yield to the chorus. They will strike at first sight of a chorus gang, but perhaps they will parley if yours is the face they see. I know the area, and I suggest we go at once. I'll show you the way. I'm eager to be far from the stench of this camp. You're offering to come with me? Why? Because the alternative is, what? Living here with these illiterate brutes? My old study is under a river of fire, and there's no family missing me. Besides, I'd much rather chronicle the binder that twice proclaimed an edict of Kairos. I'd be a fool to let someone else write your story. Swear fealty to me, and I will let you leave this place with me. If that is your price, I will pay it. I, Sage Lantry of the School of Ink and Quill, do pledge my services and skein to the Fatebinder, and by extension to the court of Tunon. He dips a steep bow before rising with a solemn smile. I know I may seem old and frail, but I know how to step lightly and how not to get killed. Really, I won't slow you down. Lead the way and let me know if I can be of service. Are we done here? Let's hightail it to Tripnettle. If your new pet doesn't behave himself... Oh, that's verse. I didn't even realize. I don't know who's who anymore. Are we done here? Let's hightail it to Tripnettle. If your new pet doesn't behave himself along the way, I'm not above clipping his ears. Quest updated. Yay. We have a fourth member of the crew. Oh, he's level 3. Nice. Does he... Oh, he gets, he has talent points to spend and stuff. Let's do a point of that one. What is that one? Wits. A point of wits and a point of resolve. And, that's good enough, right? Anything else we need to do for him? We got 2 points to spend on Quill, Sage, or Preservation. Lantry throws a Lantry throws a well-aimed quill at his target, interrupting them. That's pretty funny. Watcher's Judgment. Lantry strikes his target, interrupting them and lowering their non-physical armor. That sounds cool. Preservation is a... Restores the party's weapons and armor to pristine condition. Increases the damage from weapons and protection from armor. That sounds cool. Wait, I already have that one. I already have renewal. Oh, okay. Greater renewal empowers Lantry's renewal, granting an even greater increase to weapon damage and armor. That sounds very useful. Quill Flurry or Penetrating Throw. Subtle Throw. Let's do, I guess we'll do a Quill Flurry. That's good enough. Good deal. Anybody else have any points to spend? Nope. Looks like we're done.
At once.
We have 4 people in our party now. I have not engaged in combat since the very beginning. I am still playing on normal difficulty with the Trial of Iron enabled, so I could very well die in the very next combat that I encounter. Hopefully not, though. Alright, that's gonna be it for now. See you later.